Imagine a world not without labels, but without the assumptions behind these labels. Now, labels can be good. If, for whatever reason, you have a bottle in your fridge labeled poison, you would know not to drink that and inadvertently kill yourself. For example, chlorine is a harmful poison, and yet it's used in everyday life for cleaning swimming pools and as bleach. It's used as poison being used as a useful thing. And therefore, even then, there are limitations behind the assumptions behind this label. Labels are also good because they show our diversity. Now, I am black, I am female, and I am a feminist. Now, these are my labels, and I stand proud of each and every one of them. They define me. Now, what doesn't define me are the assumptions behind these labels. The assumption that because I'm black, I'm going to steal something, or that because I'm female, I'm lesser or weaker than my male counterparts, or that because I'm a feminist, I'm too opinionated and I hate men. Now, the problem I have with these assumptions is that they are tied to other people. They are not tied to me. People's experiences with other people who have the same labels as me have caused them to make assumptions about me, my behavior, and my character without getting to know me in the first place. Now, a few years ago, a classmate delivered a presentation. She didn't tell anyone what it was about. She simply asked the class to raise their hands up if they believed in gender equality, and the entire class put their hands up. She then asked them to keep their hands up if they would call themselves a feminist, and at least 3/4 of the hands went down. And yet the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of feminism is a theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. And therefore, by definition, feminism and gender equality are one and the same. Also, there are millions of feminists around the world. And therefore, feminism means something different to every feminist. And therefore, the dictionary definition is the only thing tying us all together. These assumptions that people have about feminism, they come from radical feminists whose voices shout the loudest. And therefore, people make sweeping assumptions about the entirety of feminism based off of a small sample group. Now, this is just one example out of millions. I could go on and on for days about all the different stereotypes behind labels and why we should challenge them. But why do we have these assumptions in the first place? Two main ideas: fear and security. We are afraid of what would happen if we don't have these strongholds in place. And these assumptions give us a false sense of security. If we assume that all feminists are angry, then we can stay away from feminists. And if we assume that all vegan people are condescending, then we can judge vegan people as well and know not to include them in conversations. And also because we're lazy. If someone tells us their labels, whether that's being a feminist or being vegan or being a Christian, we can already make a picture in our minds of what we expect these people to be. And isn't that so much easier than actually having to get to know the person? Now, I want you to imagine a world where we don't have these labels. How much better the world would be. And it starts with two main ideas: fear and security. How freeing would it be to be able to say, I'm a feminist, without any fear of repercussions? How freeing would it be to be able to express who you are without any hesitation? Now, the same way these assumptions give us a sense of security, the lack of them does as well. I can feel more secure in my labels if I know that no one is going to judge me based on those labels. We can all feel more secure if we know that people will judge us based on who we are and not based on who people with the same labels as us are. Now, how do we get there? We have to ask more questions and be open to more answers. These assumptions that we've grown so used to, so accustomed to, we have to challenge them. And next time we're making a judgment on someone, we have to ask ourselves why we're making that judgment. And if it's solely based on the labels and the assumptions behind these labels, then we have to question that. For example, I think that person is really condescending. Why do you think that? Well, he's vegan, and the last time I met a vegan person, they were condescending. So that's wrong. We should challenge that. I think she's a bad person. Why do you think that? Because she robbed a bank. Okay, that's fair enough. Now, I'd like to sum this all up by imploring all of you. Let's, as a society, stop being lazy. Let's question what we've always known. Let's learn to judge people based on who they are and not based on the assumptions behind their labels. My name is Voke Akati-Udi. I am Black, I am female, and I am a feminist. Thank you.